Hey guys, welcome to this video. Suppose we are asked to write a program that input a number from the user and show the reverse of that number. Let's suppose if user enter 15, then our program should return 51. So this is the reverse of 15, 1551. So this is the result of this. This is our input and this should be our output. So our program should follow the reverse of that number. So let's do that. In we have to declare variables and remainder. We will need a remainder variable and a reverse number is equal to 0. We will initialize it to 0. Then we will take input from the user for which we want to find the reverse. We have to take input from the input. We have to take a number from the user for which we want to calculate the reverse. So you enter a number. We have to use double quotes here, otherwise it will be a syntax error. So here also end of line scene extraction operator and n. We have declared n variable. Now while x not equal to 0, do this. Not x, we have declared n here. Sorry, we have to use n. So now while n not equal to 0, remainder is equal to n modulus operator by 10, and then reverse number is equal to reverse number multiply by 10 plus remainder. Then n is equal to n divided by 10, and then out the body of the loop we will display the reverse number. Cout reverse number is you have to use double quotes, otherwise it will be a syntax error. Reverse number is reverse number. End of line. Let's execute this program to see whether it's work fine or not. 15, the reverse number is 51. So user have entered 1515, so its reverse is 51. So our program is working correctly. Let's execute this program. Firstly, I have declared three variable n, remainder and a reverse number, and I have initialized this reverse number variable to 0. Then we are saying asking a user to input a number for which you want to find the reverse. While so user have entered 15 here. See, 15 here. So now n contains 15 because we have entered 15. 15 is not equal to 0. Yes, 15 is not equal to 0. So this condition becomes true. So remainder is equal to 15 modulus 10. We will take 15 modulus 10. So 15 modulus 10. 10 ones are 10. Remainder 5. So 5 is our result. So this modulus separator returns remainder. So remainder is 5. So this 5 is stored in this remainder variable. So remainder now contains 5. Then reverse number is equal to reverse number multiplied by 10. Reverse number contains a value of 0. So 0 multiplied by 10, 0. Plus remainder contains 5. 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. So this 5 is stored in this reverse number. So now reverse number contain a value of 5. We can write here. So it is now containing value of 5. Now n is equal to n divided by 10. We are dividing, n contains 15. 15 divided by 10, what is the result? See here, 15 divided by 10 is equal to 1.5. So 155, because it is division, so division returns quotient. So this is our result. So 1.5. So your result is 1.5. But see here we have declared n as a integer variable. So it will only took its integral part. So only 1 is stored in the n now. So n now contain will 1 only. It will ignore this fractional part. So only one integral part, that is 1, is stored in this n variable. So now n contains 1. So in comment we write here 1. So our loop is ending here. So control will shift here again, and now n contains 1. 1 is equal to 0. No. So this 1 is not equal to 0. Yes, 1 is not equal to 0. So this condition becomes true. So the control again enter the body of the loop. Remainder is equal to n contains 1 modulus 10. 1 modulus 10, that is equal to 1. So this 1 is stored in this remainder variable. As we can see, n 1 is less than 10, so its remainder will be 1. If n contains any number that is less than 10, if we take here any number that is less than 10, then the remainder will be the same number. 2, suppose here if we have here 2, then the remainder will be 2, 3, 4, 5, same remainder until we are less than this number. So now n contains 1. So 1 modulus 10, which is equal to 1. So remainder contains 1. So this 1 is stored in this remainder variable. Then reverse number is equal to reverse number multiplied by 10. Reverse number contains 5. 5 multiplied by 10, which is equal to 50. And plus remainder contains 1. So 15 plus 1, which is equal to 51. So this 51 is stored in this reverse number. So our reverse number now contains 51. So our value is overwritten, and here our reverse number is now contained 51. And here n divided by 10. N contains 1. 1 divided by 10. See here, 1 divided by 10. If we divide 10 by 1, see 10 is greater, so we have to place point here. Sorry, we have to divide 1 by 10. So 1 is smaller. We will put a point here, and now we can place 0 here. 10 ones are 10. So because we are dividing, so this is our answer now, quotient 0.1. So its answer is 1 divided by 10 is equal to 0.1. As we know that n is an integer variable, so it will take only integral part, that is 0. So 0 is stored in this n variable. So now n will contain a value of 0. So 0 is stored in this variable. Now our loop is ending, so control will again shift here. 0 not equal to 0. No, 0 is equal to 0. So our condition becomes false, because we are saying n contains 0. We are saying 0 not equal to 0. So this condition becomes false. So the control will skip the body of this loop and directly shift here and print this reverse number contains 51. So 51 is displayed on the console window. So 51 is displayed on the console window. So the reverse of 15 is 51. Similarly, we can calculate the reverse of any number using this logic. Now here, guys, we have studied two types of loop: counter control loop and sentinel control loop. This is a sentinel control loop. We are using 0 as a sentinel value. Unless this loop will be executing until or unless we enter the value of n does not become 0. So this is known as sentinel control loop. So guys, this is it for this video. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel Programming Languages. Goodbye.